Hello everyone, it is Kevin, and I still remember December 30th, 1993. It was my birthday, a birthday that I'll never forget because one of the gifts that I got surpassed all of the others. The gift was from my parents, and it was the Super Mario Bros. 3 NES Challenge set. I didn't know it yet, but this gift was about to change how I saw video games forever. Sure, I've played video games before this, Contra, Rad Racer, Super Mario Bros. Those were great games, but Super Mario Bros. 3 was my video game, and the NES was my console. This was the beginning of something grand. This, my friends, is what made me a gamer. Before that day, I could safely say that video games were an interest of mine, but it was just something I would get to play once in a while at my friends' or family's homes. I liked them, but because the opportunities to play them were rare, the fire was not lit yet. Then I put Super Mario Bros. 3 in for the first time. With no spoilers, by the way. And suddenly, games weren't just an interest anymore, as Super Mario Bros. 3 blew my mind. The moment it really clicked for me wasn't even the first level or the first boss, it was the title screen. Look at what I was used to, versus what I had on my own TV screen at that time. The game was bigger and badder compared to the original, tenfold. I experienced better graphics, mechanics, sound, and gameplay. I quickly realized that this was no longer just a game, this was an adventure. I remember getting the Leaf for the first time and learning how to fly. That's when I stopped rushing. I had to try hitting every item or coin box. I made it a mission to find all of the new items. I found that there were even more power-ups in this game. The returning Fire Flower and the Star were my first discoveries, but they were just an idea of what's to come. Eventually, I would make my way to the end of World 1, and I received a P-Wing. Being a kid, I used it immediately for World 2 Level 1. Probably a bit too soon though. But that's okay, I ventured on. Later in the world, I had my first jump scare as I got attacked by the sun. I never did get past that part for a decent amount of time. Eventually, the game would evolve. My dad would end up playing the game with or without me, and this is where the tables turned. He taught me the secrets that the early game hid from me. You could warp from World 1 to later worlds. You could kill the sun. He told me to save the P-Wing for the tougher levels. And there were even more power-ups and secrets to be found, not just in levels, but on the world map as well. Mario 3 was the first time I understood that games could have depth without being complicated. It didn't explain everything, it begged you to experiment, and that made discovery feel personal. Every hidden block felt like a reward just for paying attention. Every shortcut felt like a secret shared between you and the game. It really was a phenomenon. Friends and family were sharing their findings. There were even playground myths that I shared with my dad as gospel. I'd replay the same worlds over and over, not because I failed, but because I didn't want them to end. Ironically, I found ways to be more efficient. I would know when to use certain power-ups and what paths to take. Beating the final boss is typically what you strive to do, but Super Mario Bros. 3 was different. It had infinite replayability. Once I got that deep into it, gaming stopped being a pastime and became part of who I was. If you love these retro gaming stories, consider subscribing. I release videos like this every week. It goes without saying that Super Mario Bros. 3 was revolutionary and is a cornerstone in gaming. Looking back now, it's easy to see why Mario 3 still holds up. Not because of nostalgia, but because of its design. That sense of wonder, of being rewarded for curiosity, is something that I still chase in games today. And honestly, that's why I love retro games so much. Mario 3 didn't need cutscenes or voice acting, it let gameplay tell the story. And somehow, that made it feel bigger than anything else at the time. It's hard to say if Nintendo would have been around today if this game was a flop after the radically different Super Mario Bros. 2. Which is a story for another day. This game became the baseline of the series, and Super Mario World would not likely be as good as it was if this wasn't as good as it ended up being. Super Mario Bros. 3 shaped what I value in games more than I ever realized until now. Exploration over handholding, smooth mechanics, and replayability through the worlds that always invite you back to them. That's why I'm drawn to games that let you breathe. Games that trust you to find your own fun. It was also a good intro to a different type of couch co-op for me in comparison to Contra, which resulted in some core memories. In a way, Super Mario Bros. 3 taught me why I love video games in the first place, and I thank it wholeheartedly for that. So now I'm curious, was Super Mario Bros. 3 that game for you too, or was it something else? Let me know in the comments. I read all of them. And that's a wrap. It is time to reboot. I will see you on the other side.